So you up next. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Here we go. I know if you're finding this, I'm sorry. If you're finding this, then you would know that I finally wrote my suicide note. I got tired of living, loving, and giving, hurting for no reason, constant change in direction, drain of optimism, all blame for people's decisions, and I just need to bleed. Couldn't stand the life that I was living, which made living overrated, so overrated. Me and me, I was over it, so I find clarity in self-surgery. I cut open my right forearm with my left hand and watched negativity leak. It pained me like I felt death and I was ready to die, but it wasn't happening fast enough. So I jumped up and grabbed all the rope I can find, stood in the middle of my living room and hung the errors of my mind, lynched all regression or anything involving deterioration of my progress. I waited for that dramatic change, but it never came. I waited for death. Unfortunately, it wasn't present. So here I was, finding other ways to interrupt life processes. My insecurities and jealousy was suffocating me, so I had to chemically remove them, disabling diffusion capacity. Carbon monoxide in my lungs. Hopefully this will disable me so I can't breathe. So my problems can't breathe. Unfortunately, my respiratory would not cave in, and I almost gave in, thinking I was meant to live like this ass backwards, but I refused to live life with these key factors. Mind in a daze, I was on to the next method that I was almost sure was going to cure my little problem of this empty heart beating. This blood still rushing, though I was cut open. I had never had any depth, shallow as the puddles in a mirage. So I drowned my emptiness and big ego as rushing waters gave me a massage. I felt it. I had no gills, so there was no room for cellular respiration, no mental processes to hinder my progress, and finally a soul and body separation, a restoration in my spirit. Then I remembered. I left the hairdryer by the bathtub, still plugged. As my life passed away, electricity met hydrogen and oxygen. I was electrocufied. I just made that word up. I was, as my life, this is supposed to be serious. Y'all need to stop laughing. As my life passed away, electricity met hydrogen and oxygen. I was electrocufied. My body already fried, and that life I lived already died. This note you read should not give you grief. In no way should you pain for that life I lived, because it wasn't right. And it takes me alone to make things right, so I did. What you see lying before you, cut open, bruised around the neck, still gargling fluids, involuntarily in shock, is the old me. I've had suicidal thoughts for the longest, but I finally saw it through. You should be proud of me. I had to kill myself to better myself. Kill the negativity that was keeping me from my blessing. Killed the deterioration that my regression supplied. Don't get it confused. I was never losing it. I'm a lefty, so I was always in my right mind. Had to kill my insecurities and my jealousy, which had no correlation to my prosperity. Kill my ego that had me thinking I played a bigger role than my real part. My shallow ways that wouldn't allow anyone into my heart. That was the old me. So I guess in reality, this isn't a suicide note after all, but more of an introduction to who I chose to become, or who I always was but unable to embrace due to my disabilities. If you find this, then you have witnessed greatness in the making. Sincerely, the new me. That's that piece.